been built, time to test my guns. I'm at the range and I want some fun. I try to fly. I'm in that line, moving up, checking out at the turret club. This is it, I'm about to be incinerated. I feel it in my cold enough to make my core explode. I need a body, please give me a body. I need a body, give me a body. No, no, I'm not defective. No, no, I'm not defective. I try to pass on some clothes on the back turret, I suppose. It's painted white, I'll fit right in. Whoa, whoa. I'm in the line, moving up, checking out at the turret club. It didn't work, I'm about to be incinerated. I feel it in my cold enough to make my core explode. I need some bullets, please give me some bullets. I need some bullets, give me some bullets. Oh, no, I'm not defective. No, no, I'm not defective. All systems go, my chip hasn't fried. Decrypt my code, access denied. I feel it in my cold enough to make my core explode. I need some bullets, please give me some bullets. I need some bullets, give me some bullets. Oh, no, I'm not defective. No, no, I'm not defective. I've just been built, time to test my guns. I'm at the range and I want some fun. I try to fly. I'm in that line, moving up, checking out at the turret club. This is it, I'm about to be incinerated. I feel it in my cold enough to make my core explode. I need a body, please give me a body. I need a body, give me a body. No, no, I'm not defective. No, no, I'm not defective. I try to pass on some clothes. I'm a bad turret, I suppose. It's painted white, I'll fit right in. Whoa, whoa. I'm in the line, moving up, checking.
Oh, well, that helps. I've been talking all this time and the mic's been off. I do apologise, old gumboots. It was muted in OBS. I don't know why it was, but it was. So I do apologise. Can you hear me now? Well, that was clever. Oh boy, am I ever daft. Anyway, as I was just saying, I was just mentioning that I was looking at the trailer and it said Intercombi. I think it said something like that. And what I was saying at the time that you couldn't hear was basically that I've got a mod that puts real trailers into this game, like Eddie Stobart and so on. But I've never heard of Intercombi, and I was wondering maybe if it's not from some different part of Europe, somewhere that I've never been. Anyway, how are you all, gumboots, and welcome to the stream. It's nice to have you. I don't think I've seen you here before. Have you been here before? For that matter, have you seen this game before? Yeah, it could be Swedish, I suppose. I don't know. It sounds it, doesn't it? Because the thing is, in this game, you go all over Europe. But like I said, the yeah, I thought it was. I always try and remember the people who come in often. But no, I do this once a week. You know what? Just because once a week's the only time I can get the peace and quiet to talk. I mean, as for the game, it's basically, this is Euro Truck Simulator 2, right? And what that means is that it's a simulator game, obviously, where you're simulating being a trucker, where you're simulating driving lorries and taking loads from point A to point B. Now, for example, I'm taking a digger all the way from near Aberdeen, a quarry near Aberdeen, all the way to London, and that is quite some distance. Now, as this is a simulator, that means I have to obey the speed limits. I have to make sure that I don't go through red lights, etc., etc., and that I have to make sure I don't hit anyone, obviously. I mean, that just makes common sense. This is not Carmageddon, this is Euro Truck Simulator, so, you know. And basically, if I get the load there damaged, they will not pay me the full price, quite rightly so. And basically, I have to actually do the job properly. It's quite fun. I mean, I was saying earlier, you know, but again, it was muted, so nobody will hear. But I was saying earlier that, you know, people look at this and they say, oh, but it's so boring. You're only driving from point A to point B. But I don't know. To me, I just don't find it so. I find it fascinating. I find it brilliant. And I mean, like I said, there are certainly plenty of mods that you can put on to make the game even more fun if you really want to. I mean, some of them I looked at and thought, well, I wouldn't want that. I mean, there are cheap mods as well, like, for example, you know, unlimited money or getting ridiculous amounts for jobs, you know, I mean, really stupid amounts so that you can get rich really quickly, but I don't use any of them. I really don't, because I think, what's the point? Oh, yeah, it's definitely relaxing. I mean, to me it is anyway, because you just chill back and you just sit back, chill, and drive. That's what you do, you know. I mean, obviously you have to watch the traffic and watch the stuff, especially if you've got a mod, because I've got quite a few mods, but especially if you've got a mod like I've got where it's realistic traffic, which means at night there's very little traffic on the road, but during the day there can be quite a bit more and you've got to work your way through it. So that can be quite interesting as well. So, you know, you have to keep an eye out for traffic and stuff, and you have to watch your mirrors, like there's somebody up the side of me, but I can't see him because he's right in my blind spot. Thanks a lot. That's going to be awkward if ever I want to pull over, isn't it? A dozy devil. Let's put on a bit of speed and get ahead of him so that I can see him again. Flipping awkward cuss. Yeah. It is quite relaxing though. There he is. That's really annoying because you see that mirror over there? That's an in-game mirror, that is. It's not like the one on the lorry, it's an in-game one. So it doesn't have a blind spot mirror, which means that they can be in your blind spot, which is really frustrating because if you're oops, don't try that one. Which means if they're up the side of you, there are places on the lorry where they can't see you even if you're up the side of them because of blind spots. Now that makes things interesting when you're trying to pull over, because if they're up the side of you and you hit them, it's your fault, you get fined, and thank you very much. I now, oops a daisy. But like I said, it's a relaxing game, it's a fun game. And honestly, I don't know. I just enjoy playing it. I really do. I don't know why. Just do really. I was saying earlier as well. That I'm going to put this VOD up on YouTube. I don't know what they're going to think if they see the first half is first half has got no flipping sound. Oh dear. Have you never played this though, Gumboots? Oh, Truckers MP. No, I don't have it, but you can get that mod. But I don't know. I mean, I've never used it myself. Maybe one day I'll have to get to that. You can have convoys and everything then, can't you? Ah, right. Well, to be honest with you, it's on Steam. I don't know how much it is at the moment, but because I don't think it's on sale at the moment, but it was a while back. But maybe eventually it'll be on sale again, and you can pick it up cheap. But it is worth it, whatever it is, because, like I said, it's a proper complex game. It's like I said, you drive all over Europe if you want to. I don't like going overseas because they don't drive on the left like we do in the UK. They drive on the right, and their speed limits are all weird numbers. So, you're like, well, come past me, so get out the way. Oh, great, it was a police car, so if I'd have hit that, that would have been really funny. Because the flipper definitely would have done me for that one. Oh, dear. I mean, police car sat up the side of me, not passing me, annoying pain in the necks. But no, you drive. Like I say, you drive all over Europe. I don't like going overseas. It's not for any other reason other than basically you pay. They have a lot of toll booths over there. Yeah, I'd be. I mean, hello, what's this driver up to? That's it. Yeah. No, there's a lot of toll booths over Europe, and so you can end up paying more than you're flipping in for the job, basically, if you go through a lot of them. And their speed limits are all funny numbers because they're in kilometres and converted to miles per hour. So the speed limits are all weird numbers, and you're driving on the other side of the roads to what I'm used to and stuff. So I don't like going overseas, so I let my employees do that, because you can get garages and have employees when you're in this game, when after a while, if you get enough money, But yeah, that's definitely them keeping an eye on the lorry. They making sure I don't do anything stupid. Ah, dear. So anyway, if I can ask, Gumboots, what kind of games do you like to play then? Because you probably haven't, because you were saying you haven't played this. So what kind of games do you like? Hmm, 60 zone, Dozy. Put your foot down. Oh, Skyrim. Yeah, my nephew plays that. You know, my nephew plays Skyrim. I don't see the appeal in it myself, but I know my nephew plays it, like I said. And Tanks, is that World of Tanks? Or is that just Tanks? Is that just a game? Oh, World of Tanks. Yeah, I thought it would be, yeah. Yeah, I watched a stream of that once, but I couldn't get into that either, really. Not really my sort of game. But we're all different, all have different tastes, I suppose. But for me, I just couldn't see the appeal in it. See, I like all sorts. I mean, I've been playing Subnautica lately. Have you seen that, have you? Because it's full release now, you know. But I've been playing that. Now, that is a game, I tell you. You basically crash land on an oceanic planet. I've been using that word a lot since I've been playing Subnautica, just because I like the sound of it. Makes me sound smarter than I really am. But no, you crash land on an oceanic planet. Basically, it's pretty much all water, apart from 2 islands. Now, I gave these islands names, but they're not named in the game. You get to pick that yourself by placing down a beacon and naming the beacon. But I named them Devil's Island and Paradise Island. But basically what happens is you crash land on this planet. You've got to then survive using at first a life pod and then a base that you can build underwater. Because it's set in the future, you know, it's not set like modern times, it's set in the future, so a lot of futuristic tech in it, but oh my word, is it awesome. Because the thing is, you were in a spaceship before the spaceship crash landed, the Aurora. And honestly, it is an absolutely amazing game. I mean, it looks beautiful. You've really got to try and work at survival because you're underwater most of the time. You spend most of your time swimming. I think there's even a joke in there about how the computer comments that your favourite activity this month was swimming, or this week or something was swimming, and it's like, yeah, that's not my favourite activity, love. That's just because I'm on an ocean planet, you dozy wench. Yeah, before you get up in arms, I'm talking about a computer AI, I'm not talking about women in general. But seriously, you know, it's like, you know, the dozy computer is like, say your favourite activity is swimming. It's like, well, you kind of have to. You're on an ocean planet. But there are 2 islands. Now, I suppose in theory you could survive on the islands, but let's be honest, the game's called Subnautica, and most of the resources you need are underwater. They're not on the islands. So you have to swim at least a little bit, even if you survive on the islands. So there's that. But I mean, as with every survival game, there are things that try and make your job more difficult, like there are certain fish that are aggressive. But honestly, I think with Subnautica, I really like it because they didn't add things that felt out of place. For example, in Ark, you're supposed to be on an ark, right, or something, and there are dinosaurs there. Now, there's a lot of future tech, but there's apparently dinosaurs, so the two things don't gel for me. I mean, all right, you could say you're not on Earth, you're on an ark, you're this, that, the other, but to me, the two things just don't gel, and it doesn't make sense to me. It's like, why? That makes absolutely no sense. And like the forest, they've got cannibals. Now, I don't know which part of the world you crash that plane in, but it's not in Africa or not in anywhere that's tribal, from what I can see. So why are the cannibals there? Again, they're out of place. And I don't like that. And I mean, zombie survival games are not survival games at all. They're just running around slashing zombies with with whatever weapon you can get your hand on. So I definitely don't like those. But games like, for example, The Long Dark. Now, The Long Dark is pure survival. There are wolves, there are bears, and they are aggressive. But let's be honest, in an eternal winter, they would be aggressive because they would be hungry and they would want food, and anything that looks like food to them, they would chase. So I can quite understand that, right? However, in real life, they are not that aggressive. We know that. That's not what the game's message is. But the point is, it is pure survival. You are surviving in a cold environment, trying to make the best you can. Yeah? You know what I mean? That makes perfect sense to me. And the same with Subnautica. You're surviving in the environment, that absolutely is alien. So, the big fish don't look out of place. Certainly, they really don't. Anyway, let me just pause a minute and read what you're saying. Sorry, I'm on a rant here, or not rant, but a talk. Well, of course they're going to draw the line at elk. I mean, let's be honest. If they start putting in endangered species, the game's message would be very clear. It's okay to go out and hunt these endangered species. And let's be honest, I can pretty much say that the game's makers are not going to be okay with that. I mean, to be honest with you, hunting games are bad enough anyway because, it's like, oh, it's okay to go out and hunt elk and these stuff, but hunting as a sport is not something I really agree with, because if you're going out and you're hunting animals for food, right, that's fine. You need that food, you're going to eat it, you're going to do whatever. But if you're going out just killing them just for the sport of killing them, why? What good does that accomplish? You dwindle you take, you kill off beautiful animals just for the pleasure of killing. Why? They haven't done any harm to you. You're not going to eat them. Why end their life? That's not fair. I am not an animal activist. I'm not one of these eco-terrorist people. I'm a reasonable bloke, but to me, that just is not right. Like I said, if you're hunting for food, that's one thing. In Subnautica, you have to grab the fish and you have to eat the fish because you need to survive. So, hunting for survival, hunting for food, fine. That I can get behind because there's a reason for it. But just going out with a gun just to shoot something, just to see it die, just to say I killed X number of elk and X number of rabbits or foxes or whatever. I'm sorry, but I don't agree with that. It serves absolutely no purpose. You know? So I will not play the games, the hunting games, for that reason, because they encourage that behaviour. You know? You could say, but it's only a game. But it isn't really. Well, it is, but, you know. But, anyway, I'm glad to hear that, at least, that you're saying it's not your thing. I mean, you know, that's something anyway, but yeah. I really can't get behind hunting. Not for sport. I mean, especially not fox hunting, because as it happens, foxes are my favourite animal, and they don't do any harm to anyone. They are beautiful creatures, you know, and they don't do any harm to anyone. They kill rabbits, and if you don't fence your chickens off properly, they might take chickens, but that's not their fault. They're just hungry. Yeah. It's your job to make sure that they can't get in. Are you saying that the people who were asking for elephants were like pro hunters in real life or something, and they wanted big game? Because if so, I agree. It is distasteful. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't play these hunting games myself, but you know, let's be honest, they are just a game at the end of the day. And you know, I won't play myself because they encourage real life hunting, but trust me, it is just a video game, and there is no reason whatsoever to add the idea of being able to hunt endangered species, because that is just distasteful and not right. See, at the end of the day, any video game, any TV show, any radio show, anything like that is called entertainment. Now, to me, that means it has to be entertaining. And hunting and killing animals, especially endangered species, is not entertaining. It is disgusting. Because, you know, why? Like I was saying about the fox hunting, I hate that. I really do, because they say that foxes do this, they do that, they do the other, but half of the things they say they don't do. Like, for example, they say that foxes kill sheep. They don't. They will take a dead sheep if they see one, because they are scavengers, so they will eat a dead sheep if they see one, but they will not kill sheep. And, you know, like you say, they're wounding animals, not even getting clean kills. Well, that's even worse, you know, because that's just wanted to see the animal suffer. And that's not nice. I mean, not that I ever would, but if I was ever in a situation where I had to hunt animals for food, I would either make certain that I took the animal alive so that I could give it a clean, humane death. I know that sounds ridiculous, but you know what I mean, right? Or I would make sure that the trap that I built for it would kill it instantly without any pain or suffering, because as far as I'm concerned, the only reason to kill that animal would be for food. It doesn't have to suffer. That's, because at the end of the day, man is allowed to eat meat. We are meat eaters. So killing it for food makes sense. But killing it for sport is not right. Never has been, never will be. Anyway, my guy is looking pretty sleepy, I think. Yeah, 4 hours left. Do you know what? I'm going to take a stop here to sleep, because you have to do that in this game. But yeah, killing for sport has never been right in my books. And that's one of the few times I will judge anybody if they do it, because I don't see the purpose in it. Normally, I am a person who says you can do whatever you want, it's your choice. But when it comes to hunting animals, that's different. If you're doing it, Well, if they're breeding foxes for sport, that's even worse. Because that's just cruel. Because the foxes will get used to humans, and then when the humans come to hunt them, they won't run away because why should I? This is a human. I've been used to humans. So that's not right. But as it happens, fox hunting is supposed to be banned in Britain. I don't know about anywhere else in the world, whether they do it anywhere else, but in Britain it is supposed to be banned. I say supposed to because how many of those rich people will pay any attention to the law? They're rich enough that if they get caught, they can afford a good lawyer to get them off. Or just give a backhander to the judges and him say, oh, I don't see anything wrong. I'll see you for the hunt next week. Yeah, So yes, it definitely still goes on, even though it's really not supposed to. But trust me, I dislike it immensely. I am from the UK, fox hunting is supposed to be a British sport, or was until it was banned. But as far as I'm concerned, it is not. It is a sport of the rich and cruel. That's the problem. The judge was probably on a hunt with them last week, so he's not going to fine him, is he? He's not going to do his job and fine him, because if he does that, he won't get on the hunt next week. You said you fined me for it. You said it was illegal. You can hardly expect to be invited to the hunt, sir. So they're not going to do anything. The law passed, but they aren't going to enforce it. I mean, they claim that they're supposed to, instead of hunting for foxes, they're supposed to do it like with paper trails and fake foxes somehow or other. I don't know. I don't understand how it works, but you can guarantee they don't. But no, I would. But no, honestly, I hate all that, because foxes are like I said, apart from the fact foxes are my favourite animal, and they are. Apart from the fact that they never did any harm to anyone, I don't care what anybody says, they don't hurt anyone. If I know they say people have been attacked by foxes, but I tend to think that it was probably the people's fault for provoking the foxes. If you see a fox, remember they are wild animals. They are not tame dogs. They are very intelligent creatures, but they are not tame dogs. So if you're there trying to pet the flipping thing, or trying to treat it like a tame dog, and it attacks you, that's your fault. The creature, I was once, within 20 to 30 feet of a fox. Did I try and go over and pet it? No. I took its picture, and I sat down quietly and took its picture, and then when it turned to run away, I let it go. I didn't chase it, I didn't do any of that, I let it go. I respect it. I respect that foxes are wild animals and should be treated as such. But trust me, I was absolutely buzzing because I saw that fox. Absolutely loved it. I was so happy. But I only saw it. I didn't touch it. I didn't pet it. I didn't do any of that. And nor did I expect to. Because quite frankly, they are wild animals. And they will attack if they are frightened or scared or cornered. And they are afraid of humans. All animals are. So yes, if I'm sorry to say this, but if you're attacked by a fox, it is probably your fault. You know? So I don't agree with killing foxes just because of things they may or may not have done. That's not fair to them. Sorry, this is this is turning into a rant. I'm sorry. I really am sorry. I didn't mean to bring the stream down with a rant. I'm sorry. Oh dear. I do apologise. Ooh, that's nasty. I still say it was his fault though, because he obviously got too close to the bears and they didn't like it. Not that I would watch that kind of film because that's a nasty one, but you've got to say that it may well have been he may well have been doing something, because you say he was a friend of them, but even if you're a friend of those animals, you have to keep a respectful distance. They are. See, thing is, when they do wildlife documentaries, they don't go right up and touch them. Very often they will keep their distance and they have hidden cameras. They will have hidden cameras. They will have huts to make sure that the animals don't know they're there. And basically they will not interfere in anything they see when they're doing documentaries. And that's because they respect that these are wild animals and you cannot get close to them without danger. So if he ended up getting attacked by those bears and foxes, although I'm more inclined to believe it was the bears, as you said, then the chances are he was doing something to those bears that they were very not happy about. Very not happy. And they turned on him because of it. Maybe he went during mating season, because let's be honest, when those bears have cubs, you go anywhere near their cubs and they will be on you, because let's be honest, the bears are a mother and they will protect their own. So maybe it was during that, or maybe he was doing something to those bears that they were not happy about. But you can guarantee it was something like that. Oh, well, if he's going to act like that, then no wonder they turned on him. Well, you know, like I said, foxes are scavengers. If he died, right, foxes are going to go and eat the meat, because they're scavengers. If they see something dead, they're going to eat it. They need food, you know? But, yeah, if he's going to be like, oh, the park rangers are the enemies and so on and so forth, and try and get cuddly with them, you do not cuddle a bear. I know this is the irony, right? They give kids teddy bears and they see teddy bears as cuddly little things that they hold on to, but you try cuddling a real bear, it will not go well for you. Those things are tall, they are powerful, strong. They will not go well for you. There's a reason they talk about a bear hug. Yeah, and it is not because it is a nice thing. It is because it is very powerful, very strong, and can crush you. Trust me, cuddling with a bear is not a good idea. Never a good idea. Ah, dear. And you can't blame the foxes for having a go at its remains. They were just scavenging. That's their job. That's what they do. No, I can't blame them. Like I said, I got 20 to 30 foot away from a fox, and that was enough for me. Was that his name, Timothy? Well, yeah. Yeah, well, Grizzly Adams found out quite quickly, I'm sure found out eventually, that bears are not romantic creatures to be cuddled up to. I mean, we give our children teddy bears and tell them, you know, give the teddy bear a cuddle and say good night, and they take great comfort in it. I'm not saying we shouldn't, but let's be honest, after that, when they see a bear, they go, oh look, it's a teddy, and it's like, that's no teddy. That thing can definitely do you some damage. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we shouldn't give kids teddy bears. That's stupid. I mean, that's, you know, that's stupid. That's being ridiculous. That's being, apart from anything else, that's trying to set a standard, and I don't have that right. All I'm saying is that we do that, and then kids learn that bears are cute and cuddly, and they really aren't. Well, I don't know if animals can sense things like instability in the mind, but I'm pretty sure that his instability of the mind may have pushed him to do something that they didn't like. Because like I said, even if they grow friendly and they grow accustomed to humans, right? At some point, if you do something they do not like, they will turn. Any animal, see, look at the times where they have got hold of dogs that have been beaten and battered, right? How often do those dogs let you anywhere near them? They don't. Now, dogs were bred to be domestic animals. They were bred to live in a house and be a cuddly pet. And yet, if you beat them, if you abuse them in any way, they will not like it and they will turn on you. And they were bred for it, so bears certainly not. Anyway, my parents are back, so I'm going to have to end the stream, mate. Thanks for coming in, and I'll see you tomorrow. See you next week, maybe. Ciao.